Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. If you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments a part of the show. Understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. By the way, you only can make comments or ask questions during the live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at around 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos and flying videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. That's a like. Subscribe, and when you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when either myself or Sparky is on the channel. And also share the videos, and comments also help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining our Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And you're getting 55 years plus of building experience with Sparky, and sometimes at John's house with John Jordan. There's some more experience there, and then Dan Winship's been joining in. So it's a terrific deal for only 17 cents a day. Plus you get the show. You help the show that I'm hosting tonight. So that please helps. You also can use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box, to make your donations. You can also, you only can do that, again, during a live chat. Again, that feature is only available to you then. So please come on in during the 6:45 to whatever hour we end, Monday and Friday nights. Make your donation and then come back and maybe watch the replay at a more convenient time for yourself. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. With your memberships, you'll get special badges that I can see and Sparky can see in the YouTube chat box, and unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel, and I'm only in here twice a week, Monday and Friday evening. So if you want to get in touch with me, please go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. All the letters are there. And place a comment or question on the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is the video that Sparky shot of me flying his Junar XL. If you do that, I'll be notified and I'll be able to quickly respond to you. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. One last thing, please keep the conversations family room friendly. And in other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't do or say around your children or grandchildren. Without any further ado, I'm going to post the link at Stunthangar Forum so that people can come on in, and that's how you get into this space. So let me post that. It's posted. Okay. And I'm going to go to Sparky's YouTube channel. And I'm going to check the what's going on there. Make sure everything is working fine and see how many guests we have and how many people are in the chat box. Whoops, I hit the wrong. Oh, there we go. That'll work. I wish this was automatic. I guess I'm just gonna have to get used to it. But I'm spoiled from the other system we used to have when this was all done. All righty, so let's see. Oh, Mike Lumen says, here comes a like. Thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate that. And Mike Rigel says, evening, Charles, and everyone I'm watching. Hey, Mike Rigel, I know you have access to Stunthangar Forum. I know you've been registered, right? So, hey, when are you going to come on in? That'd be great to see you for a change. And that'd be wonderful. So please consider coming into the, go into Stunthangar, which I know you're registered with, and go to the At the Bench link, and then go in there and you'll hit the, see the one with today's date, and click on that, and I'll bring you right into this space. Now, Jack Snavely, he says, hello all. So we have excellent connection. We have 14 concurrent viewers, 10 likes. Thank you very much. Hey, Howard. Hey, how's it going?
Okay, well, I think that was the Golden State Stunt Championships to have missed.
Yeah,
it was. There are a lot of folks there, and we had a good time as usual. It was a well-run contest, but the weather Sunday was just awful.
Oh, that's too bad. Oh man. Yeah.
So there were some advanced guys that flew, and an intermediate guy, and 3 open guys, the varsity. No, 4, because Tim Just flew also. Tim Just and the varsity flew.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard that the wind was pretty bad. So yeah, I guess I guess I'm glad I didn't go, I guess. But I still, I mean, the fellowship is important too. I enjoy the fellowship and all that, you know.
Yeah, well, yes, there's fellowship.
Hey, Gary, thanks for coming in, Gary.
Yeah.
There's a new building southwest of the circle, and it took up one of the circles. One of the circles was not available, so they only had 2 circles instead of 3.
Wow.
And
change, yeah.
And the wind was blowing over the buildings, including the new one adjacent to the circle. So that made it turbulent as well as windy. So it was just awful. But the Saturday was wonderful. It was lovely.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's too bad. I hate that. You know, you go to how long of a drive is it for you to get to Golden State?
2 days.
Oh, yeah.
So we went to Yosemite and had a good time.
Okay.
Except that after that, we were going to go east over the Tioga Pass to Death Valley and some other stuff. And it was snowed in. So they closed the pass. So we just came home. We'll start over Monday, go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, it happens. So are you going to come to the Vegas contest?
Yep.
All right. Hopefully we have better weather. My friend Joe Mata was, we was sitting together, and he was looking at the weather forecast. It looked like it was going to be a little windy on Sunday. I don't know if he's talking about this Sunday or next Sunday. It might have been this Sunday. He might have been looking at this week's conditions. But
that's a little early to know what the wind's going to be next week. I should think.
Yeah. I don't know what he might have been looking at, just the forecast, just as of today, looking at the weekend. Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good, fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me change something on my screen here. I got to fix that. I'm missing the control panel. How do I do that? Normally, let's see here. So I have 2 monitors, and normally I can keep an eye on what's going on the oh, maybe it's over here. I don't know. There we go. So this belongs over here. There we go. All right. And This. All right, cool. All right, so
your plane's all done, ready to go, is it?
no, not yet. Matter of fact, I'm gonna like I did Monday, I'm gonna have Steve Hines keep an eye on the chats and the conversation so I can continue to work on the plane. So I'll be watching and I'll be in the garage like I did Monday. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. What happened? I keep losing this one screen over here. Did Howard leave? It's like Howard left.
Yeah, he must have.
Let's see, maybe he'll be back. No. Okay. All right, there we go. So we have Mike Lonke says, this time next week, Vegas. Yes, absolutely, Mike. And Mike Rigel says, I have to figure out how. I downloaded Zoom also. I think I needed to be able to come on.
Howard's coming
Mike
down.
Rigel, if you just go into Stunthangar forum and then scroll down to a section called At the Bench, I posted a link there with today's date. Now, if you go into Stunthangar forum and you don't see a section called At the Bench, it's because you didn't log in. I mean, people can actually go to Stunthangar forum without being registered, and you just can't see everything that's available. So if you go in there, go ahead and use your username and the password that you and Sparky worked out, and then you'll be able to come right in. And you can still go on the chat too. You just need to have another tab available on the on your computer, and you can still do the chat like you want, and you can be inside here where we can see and hear you. And then welcome back, Howard.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
And then Mel Rogers says, greetings. Hey, Mel. And that's extended to you too. I know that you know how to get in here, but if you want to stay under the radar and be incognito, that's fine too, Mel. But thank you for coming on in. Thank you for being in the chat. So we have 14 concurrent viewers and 14 likes, batting 100%. Awesome. Awesome.
I have trouble getting in too.
What was that?
I had trouble getting in too. I've been
Really?
at forum and looked at forum and that won't let me in. So I go back out and get another forum and get it. And that it's about 3 times finally get the forum or I can log in. So I don't know what.
Now, when you came in, you saw the At the Bench each time?
No. First of all, you just get a bunch on this website, you know, where you can, but there's no At the Bench there. So I had to log out or go back and try another forum. And then I tried another forum and finally, oh, there it is. And then I can log in. And so I don't know what's.
Yeah, neither do I. Hey, Howard, did you have problems getting in, Howard?
No, the problem I had was I've got a server and an extension for it. And this iPad got on the wrong.
Oh, yeah.
The wrong. It's my problem.
No
the
problem.
internal problem here at Stonehenge.
Yeah. Looks like Brent Williams is going to be coming in. Hey, Brent. Hey, Matt. I don't think I've ever met you. Have I met you before? I don't know if he has his audio hooked up, but
pay attention if you're driving, Brent.
I don't think he's moving right now. But anyways, great to see you, Brent. And then Gordon Hayden says, evening all.
Heard from Riley lately?
No, I haven't. Maybe I might need to give him a phone call. Have you spoken to Riley? To Jeff Riley?
No.
Okay.
I just hadn't heard his name mentioned for a while.
Yeah. So Howard, and Brent, and Gary, I've been working on my SV11. And it's like I keep working and working and working and working. And I'm trying to get to the end of this thing. It's just like, oh my goodness. It's like, when is it going to end? But what's left is the I got to put the landing gear in. I got to finish the canopy a little bit, and then I still haven't enclosed the battery, given it a defined space inside the compartment. I was thinking about putting some like EPP foam around it and that kind of stuff. And I'll then put the prop and spinner on it. I got 4 batteries charged. Hopefully I can go out tomorrow. Hey, Brent, your audio working? Oh, I see you have your hand up. Do you have a question?
Well, no, this is my first time using this, so I pushed a button.
No problem. Well, fantastic. It's great to see you. I know. I think I've purchased about three. I think I have purchased 3 handles in total, and I really love your handle that you sell. I really absolutely love that handle.
Thanks. Yeah, the engine in one of your planes came from me too. It came through. I think Dave bought it for me or something. But the Magnum 36. And,
actually Walter Hicks.
That's right. It was Walter.
Yeah, Walter Hicks. Yeah. Well,
where was Walter Hicks last weekend?
Say it again.
Where was Walter Hicks last weekend?
I don't know. I did talk to him, and I passed on some concern if he was okay, and he said, yeah, he was okay. I think he's just been busy with taking care of his granddaughter, and he has 2 daughters, and I think one of them lives in Redlands, and so usually he calls me on his way down or up back to Oregon from Redlands, California.
Yeah, the entire Medford, Oregon posse was missing.
Yes, yeah, I know Marshall didn't go, and who else normally comes down there besides Marshall and Walter?
Mike Massey.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Brian wasn't there either.
What's his name that flies the skipjack plane?
That's Marshall Palmer.
Marshall, yeah. Well, how was that wind there, Howard? Was it pretty intense there in California?
Yeah, I had to hold my airplane down.
Jeez.
I didn't fly it.
Wow. Speaking of holding down planes, I just see people just hold their planes, but has anybody tried like using like some sort of sandbags, around the plane, and then maybe like a bungee cord or something to hold it down, like strap it down?
People put their jackets on their airplanes. I used Warren P-Art for a while, but he got tired of it.
I've seen people put their flight box up.
Oh my goodness! Well,
I went for a year without a haircut during the Rona. But
yes. Hey, Steve.
Hey, back by popular demand.
Yes, back by popular demand. So, Steve has really been helping me get this plane together. He's been really been encouraging me and keeping after me, I tell you. And I appreciate it, Steve. So in attempts to continue to help me, Steve's going to keep an eye on the chat box and be the host. I'll be in my garage. I'll be watching. If he has any questions, he can ask me and I can help. But this will free me up. Hopefully, I'll get this plane done tonight. This, in case you don't know, and I'm building a electric SV11 ARF, and it's my first electric plane. And
you'll love it.
What was that again?
That you're gonna love it.
Well, we'll see. That's what everyone says. I still love IC. I mean, I love my stalkers. The K77, I'm still haven't had enough chances to really use that motor a lot, but I don't know. I'm open. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting flying 2 basically identical planes back to back. So I have one of Norm Whittle's old Sultans, and Gordon Delaney has one of Norm Whittle's old Sultans, and on Gordon's he has a 65 Rojet piped engine, and on mine I converted it. Norm was in the process of converting it to electric, and I finished it. And so 2 very, very similar planes. and it's interesting flying them back to back to back. And it's a Cobra 3020, and it's 6S Thunder Power setup on it, and it's just they both fly awesome. I mean, pipe chips just fly great, and this electric thing hasn't given up anything to a pipe, I'll tell you that. It just flew great. So I had a mishap with it. I knocked the nose off the plane. I pulled a bonehead mistake and hooked the lines up backwards. I couldn't believe it. And I let myself get rushed. And that's the worst thing, is to not follow your procedure. And I just let myself feel rushed, and somehow, it got it up, and bam, 10 feet later, it just knocked the nose off of it. So I'm still pouting. I haven't, I put the plane in the garage last year, and I'm still kind of mourning the whole situation. So,
it's so hard to forgive yourself, right? I mean, you just beat yourself up. You just
what was terrible was the plane Norm Whittle was really, you can ask Howard and all those guys. He's up there in their level of pilot. He would go up there and compete with them at the Northwest Regionals, and he'd beat Paul a couple times, I think. And
wow. So
he called this plane that he gave me his best IC Sultan he ever built. So wow. It was a special plane. It was very good. And other people that had flown it, like Gordon Delaney, had flown it and begged him not to convert it to electric. It was so awesome, and then for me to knock the nose off the plane, oh man, I felt so terrible.
I know. It's tough to get over those things, but you eventually get over it. But it's like, what? Those are lessons we learn. I mean, I remember I inadvertently hooked my stooge lines over my flying lines, and my stooge was captured with 4 stakes and a concrete paver, so it wasn't going anywhere. So it pretty much it didn't move, and just shredded the flying lines, and I crashed my plane. And that was a painful lesson. I'll never ever do that ever again. So,
Howard, we're running a little low on Jive Combat poems. Do you have any?
Well, we may be getting gray around the edges, but
it didn't move.
Be it streamers or the mustard, we're not too old to cut.
Yeah.
Really can't teach you to dance.
All right, Steve, I'm making you the host, Steve.
I'm trying to still get in there to get
Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready. Oh, you got to pop out the chat.
Yeah.
You got to pop it out.
Yeah, I had a hard time getting there. Hold on a second.
Yeah, take your time. I'll just continue to. So, anyways, yeah, Brent, that's unfortunate. What other plane do you have besides the Sultan and the electric plane? Is what? Which one's that?
Oh, that was the electric one. I've got several Pathfinders of varying eras. I've got one of Gordon's old 750 square inch full body Pathfinders from like 1993.
I got the good one.
Yeah, you do. You know what? The thing about that plane is I hadn't learned the pattern yet when he gave you that plane. I was in the basement when he called you to give you that plane. And I remember the conversation because I could hear it through the phone. He called up, he said, Howard, I'd like to give you a plane. And you said, oh. and then you said, well, what plane? And Gordon said, oh, the little red twin. And through the phone, I could hear you go, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, everyone who's flown that plane says it's fantastic flying plane. I've never flown it, but I've heard it's a really good flying plane.
So it was just before. So I've flown most of Gordon's stuff now. I fly his planes regularly, but that's the one that got away that I never got a chance to fly. So it's kind of funny. But I was there for its when he offered it to you. So that was kind of funny. But I was building my plane to learn the pattern with in his shop there. So he let me come out and build it there. So, but yeah, it was
All
kind of fun.
right, I think I got it, Charles.
All right, so you have the chat popped out.
Yes.
Okay, and remember when it goes away, you just hit that Windows key and the tab, so you can reclaim it anytime it goes away.
Yeah, I that's what my problem was. It wasn't letting me reclaim, but I finally got it.
All right, cool. Well, if you got that, and let me just catch up. So Marcel Legrand, he says, "Evening, Charles and everyone." Well, evening, Marcel.
Evening, Marcel.
Coming in. And then Michael Garrett, we tried to come in already again. I mean, hopefully you can see the At the Bench link and come on in. All right. Well, you ready, Steve?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So you got your Mountain Dew there. I don't think you'll need this. Show keeps you so busy. I don't think you need any caffeine, but let me see here. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to go down the garage and I will be watching and hopefully learning too. I love when this thing says, "Are you sure?" when I want to make you the host.
It must know.
Are you sure?
All right, you guys. So I'm gonna bounce and I'll be back on the other side. I'll see you guys. I'll be watching.
On the other side.
Yes.
So Howard, I saw on the some of the pictures there from Golden State, you've got a snarling sheep on your plane.
That's Flaming Doghead in sheep's clothing. It's essentially a predator, a walker, follow on to the impact. Very slight changes, but it uses the same rib set as the predator. It's labeled impact, but it's a predator in sheep's clothing.
So what's is the airfoil that much different, or is it basically impact, or is it
it's
thinner?
the same. It's the same. Yeah. But that particular rib set, it's not my favorite arrangement for
Yeah, looks,
the slanty ribs are kind of a big angle and they mess up the airfoil a little bit. Takes more vortex generators, keep the flow stuck down. It works well.
Haven't all the cool kids gone to the zigzag tape though? Or do you have both?
I've got, welcome to my laboratory. Let me show you my zigzag tape cutter. I got
Would you steal your wife's painting shears?
no, man, I got a pro cutter. See that
Oh wow.
thing there? Yeah, that's my vinyl cutter. And I use it to make zigzags. Here's a set of them. See, can you see the zigzags? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. So what mill thickness are you doing it out of?
That's 7.
No, that's what I've heard. I've heard that through the unofficial grapevines that the discussion is that the boundary layer on the wing on our planes is really only about 7/1000ths of an inch thick. So to make it
back about the quarter cord, it's thinner than that up further forward.
Is it?
So I tried like 3/1000ths farther forward. Most of that vinyl for that's used in a vinyl cutter is 3/1000ths, I think, for paint masks, 2 or 3/1000ths. And it worked nicely there. Then I noticed that the varsity was putting their strips back about 20-25%. So, okay, I'll try that. So I got thicker tape. That's polyurethane stuff that they put on the front of cars to keep rocks from chipping them.
Yeah, I read something. I think Seelig, the airfoil dude, Seelig, wrote something about zigzag strips, as a lift, enhancement.
I saw that paper, and they had various shapes. If it's paper I'm thinking of, they had various shapes of zigzags, and those zigzag shapes corresponded to the pinking shears available.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, whatever it takes, right? 220, 221, whatever it takes. So it's his stuff's interesting to read. I'm obviously not an engineer, so some of it goes past my head, but it's interesting to read his work on low Reynolds number airfoil development stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what Norm Whittle uses on his stuff, is the 80-20, then just scales it to whatever thickness it needs.
80-20. What's
The
that?
Seelig Donovan 80-20, the SD 80-20 airfoil. Yeah.
That's not a symmetrical one, right?
It's symmetrical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's the Seelig Donovan SD 80-20, and
somebody mentioned that. It's not very thick, is it?
no, but you can scale it up. He would just blow
fluff it up. Okay.
So it's a good airfoil. It's on the Sultan that I have is at about 22%, I think. Before the flap. I think it's 18 total, but minus the flap, it's 22%. And I think his Sultan E, I think it was like 18% minus the flap. So.
Hey, Howard, have you tried to see if there's a difference between the regulators?
Oh shit! Sorry.
What?
Have you tried?
Funny.
What a goofball. Sorry. I'm sorry.
He hasn't noticed the whole time I've been on here.
Pretty good. All right.
Have you noticed a difference between the zigzag tape and the turbulators?
It is a turbulator.
Well, yeah, I know it is it turbulates, but to keep them so people know what we're.
I don't know. They do different things, but the zigzag tape. Well, the idea is to trip the boundary layer from laminar to turbulent where you want it to trip, but it has some three-dimensional stuff too. So it, I don't know what it's doing. The vortex generators, they bring the high-speed flow down next to the wing, keep the air stuck to the wing.
Okay.
I'm using both. Varsity's using both. It's
belt
really
belt and suspenders.
Any of them, so it's hard to say if it's working.
I saw a
It's
picture.
the elevator doodad, so that's our latest trick.
Oh, okay.
In fact,
Hello, Denny. Hello, Michael. Glad to see you guys in tonight.
So do you feel that what the little the wedges on the elevator, what do you think it like back to back to back, one flight on, one flight off, one flight on, what would you feel, back to back to back like that with
Not
those
much.
elevator wedges?
Not
What?
much of anything.
Not much of anything.
I'm going to try some bigger wedges, see if I can feel more. Bob Hunt, he can feel it.
I was talking to Samantha today about data stuff and doing it. And she's like, if it doesn't change something 5%, it hasn't changed anything. And Dennis was saying his brother, they're trying to get a change on engine horsepower or whatever. They wanted to see 4% because under that you couldn't duplicate it. But that's what Samantha was saying too, is like, it's so hard to to duplicate anything under 5% of an increase. You know?
That's kind of general.
Right. But, you know, it's like she was showing the figures on everything. And it's like, when you're in this area, you know, to try to get it duplicated, you can't duplicate the same results, you know, when stuff is so close.
Depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah. But I mean, on that airplane, I mean, if you can actually feel it, she's like, because I asked her about that. She goes, you know, if you could feel something like that, it's one thing to see it aerodynamically, you know, have sensors sensing stuff. But she's like, can you really feel something that would change something?
Yeah,
2%?
that's what Paul Walker says. And can you feel this these elevator doodads? I couldn't say that I could.
Yeah, same way.
You know, that's.
Have you?
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted. It was the next. It was a couple questions in front. I was going to say, go ahead and finish your.
No, go ahead. I'm supposed to try to keep everybody talking and stuff like that, and I'm not doing a very good job at it. I think I got a little delay.
Yeah, it's because when I came in.
Oh, okay.
It
No,
does that
I couldn't figure out what was going on.
I saw a picture of a plane that had the vortex generators on it, but just had them in the middle of the wing. I think you need to go from the fuselage all the way out to the tip of the wing.
I do.
Do you do it? Okay.
Well, yeah, depends on the way. Apparently, Paul Walker says that with a solid wing, he only needs one pair of vortex generators, like a foam wing or a all sheeted wing with no lumps in it. But these lumpy ones with the zigzag ribs, he uses more, and I'm using more. I've got 5 pairs, I think, on each side, top and bottom.
Plus the zigzag.
Plus the zigzag. Plus the elevator doodads.
What do you have zigzag tape on your elevator on your stab too?
You bet.
You know what I think? I think, Howard, is that you got to make a rudder that flares on the downward legs of your maneuvers, and once you turn the corner, it'll go back together. That would slow you down.
Can you do that mechanically?
If you had enough wires to pull and crank and all that kind of stuff.
Or you can't do it electronically. That's not fair.
I know.
Just make it a gravity open. So just anytime you point the plane down, whoop, the door's open and bada bing.
If you know which way gravity's going, how would you know which way? How would you know? How can you tell gravity from other accelerations on the airplane? That's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
When I fly, it tends that gravity always goes towards the ground because that's where my airplane always ends up.
Yeah, but your airplane doesn't know which direction that is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess if you're accelerating away from gravity,
you could have some kind of a contraption that measures airspeed and have a bellows to stick it out. I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting when you said what you said about the airplane don't know where it's at.
Well,
Really?
yeah, unless you have some kind of a sensor on there.
Yeah.
Like a gyro.
Yeah.
that or make the doodad on the back flexible, so when you're going straight, you're going faster, so it flattens it out, and then when you slow down, it pops up.
Yeah, you can do that, but you'd want it the other way, wouldn't you? Or what?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It's hard enough just to have fixed doodads.
So you can make a tut for that, right? So you can add a tut feature.
Well, no, you can't, because it should be illegal, and probably is next year. I haven't read the rule for sure, but you can't use any electrically operated aerodynamic control surfaces. Can you? It should be a rule. I think it is next year. Otherwise, we do kinky stuff. Hi, Mike.
Mike,
Hey, Mike.
What's up, guys?
Not too much.
Hey,
Hey, Charles, it kind of looks like an airplane.
yeah.
We can't hear you. You're muted.
No. You're muted. You're muted, Charles. You're muted, Charles.
He doesn't believe it.
Is that Mel Rogers I see over there?
hey, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Now he can defend himself. He's
There.
unmuted.
Now we can hear you, Charles.
Yeah, it's like an airplane. Been a long time coming. Still need the landing gear and the prop and spinner.
The change is going to come.
How do I pin you again?
When you say, well, you just there's a little 3 dots in each square. Just left click on that, and you'll see a sub menu show up.
Oh, okay. Spotlight for everybody.
Yeah.
There we go. Now you can show it.
Okay. Well, you've seen one SB11. You've seen mine.
Hey, you got that down on there now, huh?
Still down. I want to lower it a little bit more. It's not quite all the way down yet. It's getting there. But yes, nice looking plane. I'm going to add some other trim to it. I have a friend who has the same plane. So his is IC. I was going to add some purple trim to mine to make it look a little different.
Yeah,
But
but
that's going to be an
I don't
electric.
think you'll get them confused if his is IC. His will have crap all over it.
Yeah, that's true. He has a Super Tiger 51 in his. And
He'll have grass stuck on the wing and stuff like that.
yeah, his fly's good. He had 2 of them. All right, you guys, I'm going to focus on getting this thing done. I'm going
All
to
right. I'll
mute
take
my
you.
mic. I'm going to make some noise.
All right.
Looking good, Charles. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I got everything back now to normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Mel.
Hey,
Here, man. I bet you don't abuse your cyclones like this.
I can't see it, bud. Let me
Yeah.
Maybe
Everything you
click
might.
Maybe Steve can make me big.
There you go.
I bet
Oh,
yours never end up looking like this, do they?
you guys
He doesn't look very happy,
man.
Mike.
These engines, it's so strange. It's
Yeah.
fun. But I
Well-
think it's fun, but wow.
Yeah, that was me and Sammy flying a half-A match in the backyard last week. We had a double thump, so the 4 over here looks the same way, but you know, I got a pretty nice backyard. There's no rocks and the ground was soft.
Oh,
So
nice.
mud.
I went to Vegas one time and watched Joey have a little half-A fly away on him. I was there, and it went up. And the lines broke right at the handle, which was really weird. Matheson was flying it, he kept good view of it. It went up, carrying 42 feet of line.
Oh yeah.
That's what kept it spiral, and it kept going up and up, and then drifted over there where they're coming into McLaren Airport. You know, the jets, and you could see this thing going over through there, and it disappeared, and everybody kept it quiet for a few years, which I think was smart. I don't know who found it, but there's probably the best running cyclone I've ever seen. rogue in Vegas somewhere.
Oh, he lost it. He didn't get it back.
Oh, they lost it.
That's
And
really
he
bad.
borrowed it.
Next
He
week.
borrowed it from Greg Hill. Borrowed it
Oh,
from Greg Hill. It was like the best one and one there, and then he lost it. It flew away.
I know Larry Davis
Really
and Lance Matassa were flying half A in Phoenix at what's the name of that park there where they fly all the combat in Phoenix, where they have all the F2 Esteban Park, and they had one that wasn't trimmed out right, and Larry did a hard turn and it came in at him, went to the other side of the circle, and the lines broke, and they didn't have a shut off on it, and away it went, man. So there's a brand new Profi sitting on the roof of some industrial building over there somewhere. He lost one.
Darn it.
I've got a bunch of the H&R shutoffs for half phase, and I'm going to start putting them on my foamies anyway with the external bell cranks. Yeah, anything that has an external bell crank, there's no reason not to
I've
put
got
one
that
of
same plane there. I think I do. Is that a first version? One of no, it's something different.
This is a Dawson. This is a Dawson. I think he calls this one the
Buzzard. I got a
The
new
little
one of
Buzzard.
those.
Yeah, this is the little Buzzard. This is a Dawson
He
ship.
doesn't have the holes in them anymore.
No, he doesn't do the holes in them anymore. And I think
There's the new version.
the booms are a little shorter on them too. Yeah. Yeah, they go like stink, man. They run really good with a cyclone
Oh,
on them.
Burdick likes the Sonic Chicken with the holes in it better than any of them.
I got a couple of the chickens too. I got 3 or 4 of those sitting up there as well.
John,
Hey, John.
I don't think I'm gonna have to tear this motor down because nothing got in the Venturi, so I don't feel any grit, but I may still take it apart. I don't know. We'll see when I get there.
Poor thing. Abused. First time.
Oh, I know, man. It sucks. It sucks when it happens, but at least, like I said, it's soft ground, man. That's nothing worse than flying somewhere where there's rocks and stuff in the field, and you end up hitting a rock or something like that. It's bad.
There's one of Dawson's original chickens with the holes
Oh,
in
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I've got a little Norvell on it.
I got 2 or 3 of those up there. I got a bunch
Yeah,
of cores to build those too.
I only have the one new
Hey,
one.
Mark.
Hey, Matty.
Too fun. A lot of fun. I'm amazed how well they bounce. That's important for someone that's new into it,
Brent, where are you parked that it's still daylight outside?
Oh, it's I'm parked outside a convenience store. I had to drop my daughter off at a Halloween party a few miles from here, so I'm just waiting an hour to go pick her up. So
You have to pick her up.
yeah, she's 10.
Welcome, Brian.
Mike, what engine were you guys
trying.
running?
Hey, Brett,
I
you
have a
want to
question.
borrow my hat and hair? You'll fit
Yeah.
right in at the Halloween party.
Well,
What?
people all day asked what I dressed up for Halloween, and I told them an increasingly fat man is what I dressed up as. So
I used to dress up in a
I changed up from last year. Last year I went as an angry white man.
there you go.
Or an angry old white man.
Mel, what did
That's your everyday
Mel,
costume.
what did you ask me? Mel had a question about engines. If we can.
Oh, I was just gonna ask Mike what engine he puts on those slow combats, those 75 or 80 mile an hour. What are you using? The LA or the FP?
LA 25s or FPs
Really?
if I got them. I got a few Thunder Tiger 25s, and I just tried an ASP 25 down in King Orange. I had one that I finally got my hands on one. It's going to be hard to tame down. I think I'm going to have to choke the Venturi way down on it because I just ran it wide open. I swear the thing was going like 90 miles an hour with an 8.4 on it. So I think I'm gonna have to plug the vent. But the LA 25s is mainly what we run. The only issue is they're too light for the Russian airplanes, the Russian ARFs. So you gotta cram like an ounce of lead in the wing somewhere up front because the LAs are just too light, you know.
I have an OS 28 FSR. I want to use that. And it's a little heavier than the FP or the LA.
That's a ball bearing motor, right?
Yeah.
That would probably balance just right because that's one thing I noticed. The ASP 25, which is a ball bearing motor, it balanced perfect, but it was just way too much power. The LA 25s and the FPs have plenty of power to get you to 75 on the right prop. They're too light, so you either gotta extend the mounts, you know, get the motor out a little further, or you gotta throw some lead in the front.
Okay, how much lead are I've got to make some mounts. How far would you extend it? An inch?
Yeah, I'm a half away, and I'm a half inch away from the nose block, and I still got to put lead in them. So the next set of mounts I make, I would move it out at least an inch, unless you want to put lead, you know.
Okay, I'll make my mount. That's what I wanted to catch you about. I don't know much about that class. And, I've never flown in it or anything, but I'll make some mounts for that, and I'll put it out there for an inch. See if I can keep the lead down.
Well, Marcel asked, when is the Las Vegas contest coming up? And that's Saturday.
Yeah, next weekend. Steve, can you pin me real quick so I can show this to?
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Okay, so that's how far away I am there. And this still has like 3/4 of an ounce on it. So you can go a little further out if you're going to use an LA.
All right.
Mike, could you probably use like a lower pitch prop, or it doesn't exist?
Lower pitch for what?
For the Royal 25. I'm gonna let it scrimmage, just use a lower pitch prop. It's gonna slow it down.
Well, I ran it with an 8.4 as it was. I mean,
is there an 8.3?
No, I don't think
not much prop.
I don't think there's 8.3s, and a 7 is way too small diameter. No, the thing is that motor, the ASP 25 is pretty powerful. I just need to choke the Venturi down. I got to put a smaller Venturi in it. That's all, because I think it's running like a 280 in there. I think if I put a 250 in it, that'll tame it down, and then it'll be in the right ballpark.
Is that 250 unobstructed, or is there a spray bar going across that?
Yeah, there's a nozzle in there. There's a nozzle going across.
Okay.
So, yeah, 280 with a. I think I have it sitting here. Yeah, I mean, look at this thing. Can you pin me again? Steve?
Yeah, hold on.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Yeah. And I bought this motor secondhand from somebody, so I don't know who set it up, but I mean, look at the size of that Venturi, man. It's massive.
Oh my God.
It's massive. But, you know, it's the same setup as the LA or the FP. There's still a spray bar going across section, but that can be definitely closed up a little bit. But with the ASP, heavier motor, see where I got it right back there? It flies like a dream. I mean, it's right there where it needs to be. So I think that ideal thing, and I thought about this, I need to weigh the ASP and then weigh the LA, and then I'd be able to figure out if I wanted to get the motor back all the way, I'd know how much weight I need to get up front on the motor mount, or just keep extending the motor mount out, you know, till it gets happy. But with these Russian planes, the LA is too light and the FP is too light. So.
Oh, okay.
That was
I got
just
an
first.
FP30. I got an FP35 I was thinking about.
That's way too big for this type of plane.
Okay.
That'd be good on a phone, you know, 500 square inch foamy. 35s and 40s would work fine on that.
It's got a 270 Venturi on it.
That's
Stock, brand new.
That's what I would do on it, on a black, like a 9.4 or 9.5 prop.
Yeah.
I know I wanted to play with this ASP 25 because I'd heard good things about them, but then I found out everybody's running the 21. Like,
Yeah, that was what I was told.
they're all running the ASP 21, and that probably gets you the right weight without having to choke down the Venturi to get the speed going. But
I've never been able to find one of them.
I haven't either because they stopped making the darn things, and it's a shame because when Hobby King had the ASP, you know, they weren't control line versions; they were all RC versions. They were like $52 or something like that. The ASP 25 and the ASP 21s are $48 and $52.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a ripping deal, and then they just went out of stock and they never made any more.
Right.
I don't think they would have any applications in stunt. I don't think you can tame them. They're not timed right to do anything with them in stunt, but they make a great combat motor, you know, or even a racing motor. I know guys are running the ASP 15 in racing. They're using that. TJ's using one in Sport Goodyear.
I made one of those for RC, Racing 15 ASP. Wow. I didn't know they used them in control line. That's crazy.
Hey, Dennis, did you pick up that iron off of eBay?
No, I haven't had a chance to go looking for it yet.
They're both gone.
Oh, well. I guess I won't be looking for it.
Yeah, I thought maybe you got one of them because I see I looked before I got on tonight. I see they were both gone, and I'm like, yeah, maybe you got one.
No, not yet.
They're $24. I figured out they were going to go fairly fast.
Oh.
Hey, Mike, I've got a 20 FP, Mike. If that might work.
That's not quite enough snot, but don't sell that thing. According to Brett Buck, man, the FP20 is one of the greatest stunt motors ever made, man. You put that on a Sky the right way, and that's a good stunt motor, according to Brett Buck.
Yeah, I read that whole thing that he put out on that with muffler pressure and.
You don't see a lot of them come up for sale either, man. I mean, I've never had one. I've never played with one, but. And guys, if I sound messed up, I'm dealing with a pretty wicked sinus infection right now for like the last 2 days, so I'm not in tip-top shape. And I went to the clinic. I went to the clinic, and it was a 4-hour wait. So I turned around and walked out. I think everybody's.
It's the F-spring.
I just let you guys know Dick's in the hospital with COVID.
Oh, no.
So.
Oh, geez.
So he won't be on tonight.
Sorry to hear that. Well, that's the first thing I did this morning. I took a COVID test before I went to I got a home kit to make sure I didn't have it before I went to the office. But anywho, I hope Dick does all right.
Yeah. Some people do all right. Some people don't do so much all right. So it depends.
That's really weird because Wednesday or Tuesday, I was talking to John Paris, and we were all going to meet up at Dick's on Sunday, and he was going to make a plate for him for a header pipe, and then we were going to go out to eat and stuff, and he talked to him, or tried to get a hold of him tonight. I don't know who texted back, but he was going to set up a time, and it just said that Dick was in the hospital with COVID and he couldn't talk or anything. So I hope he's not on a ventilator or nothing like that, but I can't get a hold of anybody. Nobody's answering their phones.
Well, he seemed fine Monday night when he was on here. He didn't look like he was sick or anything. So
no, and it's like
recent development, I think.
Yeah. I guess Wednesday he went in. He's been in for 3 days. So.
Well, I just got to knock this sinus infection out so I can come to Vegas next week. Have fun with Charles and John and everybody.
If you don't, your ears will explode in that airplane.
Oh, I know, man. I know. I'll get it under control. I'll get in there and get a Z-Pack tomorrow, and I'll be fine. It's all good.
So where in Vegas is the contest? Is it at Bennett Field?
Yeah.
I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah, Henderson.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
that'd
come
be
to-
Bennett Field. I might drive down there and catch that. That's easy to navigate.
I got all ready to book my room and everything else, and I got looking at it, and it was going to be about a $600 trip between my brother and I, and just decided to bag
Can't
it.
afford it, yeah.
It's like, man, this is getting pricey. So that's a bummer. I was looking forward to it. But
Where are you at, Brett?
Ogden, Utah.
Okay.
So would you drive or fly?
You're about 8-9 hours from Bennett Field. I'm 4 hours exactly from there.
Well, I got my ticket. I'm flying Spirit on the way out. I got a $37 ticket on the way there.
All
And then
right.
I'm flying Frontier on the way back, and my ticket was $52 on the way back. But
Oh,
then
that's
I-
just the rooms, man. The rooms are so expensive down there. It's crazy. Holy cow.
But then I got an email saying I haven't paid for my bags yet. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
There's the catch.
So Spirit and Frontier, you get one personal item like a purse or a, laptop bag. But if you have a carry-on, a true carry-on, it's $50 a bag. So that's what I'm going to have is one carry-on. So, I mean, realistically, my round trip was $200. It's $100 each way even with the bag.
That's the thing too, is that if you have a check bag,
those are $50 a piece too.
Yeah.
For every one, you don't even get any freebies on Frontier or Spirit. You get none. But I mean, I spent more than that in gas driving to the King Orange contest last weekend. Hey,
Mike. When I flew out to the Nats, there was a guy on Frontier Airlines with me. All he took was a overnight bag with toothbrush but he said it was cheaper to buy clothes.
Yeah.
You can go buy clothes cheaper than what you'd pay in baggage.
Right.
Just consider that, because you figure for Las Vegas, what are you going to need for those 3 or 4 days?
Yeah.
I just need my trailer.
Yeah, wait a minute. I wonder. Let's see. What size is Dane Martin? Maybe I could just borrow a bunch of clothes from him when I get there. I need some flip flops, some shorts, and a t-shirt. Man, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I come up with a way to help finance my trip. Maybe. I found out. I volunteered to help out when I got there. So they needed some help. I'm going to be one of the judges for advanced stuff.
Oh boy, there's me, John, and Charles.
All I can say is that there's plenty of time for last-minute donations, guys.
Yeah. Dennis, you're looking really good tonight. You're looking so youthful this evening. Are you using a new skin cream or something? You're looking really good there, buddy. Very handsome.
Honey talks, BS walks. And
Well,
besides,
didn't you say that?
You did promise to Frontier Street. So
That's right. He did promise to take you down on Frontier Street. You did, Mike. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, I got a clown suit I can take along for you if you need one.
I'll wear it, brother. I would be honored to wear the Howard Rush clown suit, man. And I'll do it too. I don't give a.
That would be that definitely would be walking in the oversized shoes of a legend, huh?
I have a legend. Yeah, maybe it'll bring me good luck. Maybe some of all that stunt godness will rub off on me if I wear the clown suit.
Hey, John.
It's Fremont Street, Steve. It's Fremont.
Street, not
Fremont
Front
Street, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
you
going
were
down Friday night. Friday
That's
night.
the kind of rookie I am.
So
Friday
Mike,
night is Fremont Street night.
Mike is taking Dennis
Well,
to
sorry?
Fremont
Station.
Street. Where is Charles and John taking Dennis?
I don't know, like I said, man, it's just plenty of time for last minute donations and let it go at that. Got a week to plan your course of action, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
Just
It's
go to
gonna be
the
fun.
last place. I don't care.
Actually, I did save $140 yesterday. I found out I take my airplane, I had my airplane box all made, literally ready to seal it on up. And I did some more digging and checking and everything like that, figured out that they do have a limit on the size you check bag. Basically, length, width, height, 80 inches max. I was at 81. All right, the penalty for being oversized is $70 each way. So I just spent the last couple of days, I lowered the box and I shortened the box, and lo and behold, I will be undersized, and I just got to figure out how to get my shorts and flip flops in it, part of the expression, and I'll be all set. So.
All right. You got $140 more to throw in at the casino. That's why I'm bringing a carry-on bag so I can bring all that money home with me that I'm gonna win, man.
There you go.
Well, somebody asked me the other night where I was going to put.
And just think, Mike, once it's all done.
My trophies, I said, you know what? I hadn't considered actually winning a trophy out there. I don't know what I'm going to do if I actually win something. So.
And what it is, Mike, is
they pulled up real nice. That's all. So.
Yeah.
hey, Mike, and once it's all done with that carry-on bag, you can give it to a homeless person and save your money on a bag to come home.
Well, no, I need it for all the money I'm gonna bring
That's
home.
what I said. And when it's all said and done, you can give it to a homeless person
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
save the money to bring the bag back home.
Yeah.
I hope you guys do win, but I haven't met too many people that needed a bag to bring their money back from Vegas.
Yeah, I know. It's just wishful thinking.
I did find something else that kind of shocked me. I didn't heard this before. I can only take 100 watt hours of batteries. All right. And my batteries are 37 watt hours each. So I can only take 2. So I got something for my wife to do. When she's tagging along, she's going to carry 2 batteries also.
Okay.
I had never heard that from people who were taking their batteries on board and everything like that. They're, I don't know any, but I've never heard anybody they had any pushback on bringing their batteries.
Try moving your chair over to your right and turning your head the other way.
All right, here we go
There
again.
you go.
There you go. That's perfect right there. That's good.
Yeah. But anyhow, I can only take 2 of my batteries, and I'm gonna have to see if my wife can get the other 2 batteries in her purse or something like that, and that'll be that, I guess. I was only gonna take 4 anyway, but
Right. Hey, Brent, is that you that has the 4 Thunder Powers for sale on Stunthangar?
Yep, that's me.
Yeah. Okay. I might be interested in those possibly. I'm
Yeah,
waiting. I'm waiting to see what their Black Friday deal has this year.
Well, it's always 50% off, and so that's always their deal. It takes a couple months sometimes for you to receive them from Thunder Power, depending on how fast they're running. But
Okay.
yeah, they're just
this time of year, that's okay.
Yeah. So
Do they have any other sales other than the Black Friday?
sometimes throughout the year they do 30% sales here and there, like a 4th of July sale or a Memorial Day, or here or there they do 30% deals. But I decided I'm going to build some of those lithium-ion batteries like what Dane Martin sells. I decided I'd build some, so I'm just selling the Thunder Powers to finance my lithium-ion project. So it's it's kind of fun. I build tube amps and stuff like that for a hobby, and I thought, well, I can probably do this. So that's the only reason I'm selling those Thunder Power 5S's, just because I want another fun little project of building the lithium ion batteries.
Did you buy a welder, or are you going to
Yep,
solder
yep.
them?
Yeah, I bought the welder and all the stuff. So there's in the built custom guitar world and tube amp kit world and everything else, we have a funny saying where we say, why buy new when you can build for twice as much? So that's that's the story of my life. Is I tell my kids, my my boys, I say, don't ever fall prey to the, hey, that sounds neat. I'm like, don't run. If you ever say that, slap yourself. Don't do it. Because that's I get myself into a million projects that way of, hey, that sounds neat. So, but yeah, it's just kind of the lithium ions are kind of an interesting deal because they're just 18650 mollicell P26A cells, and then you weld the tabs together and the whole thing. It's just kind of like a fun paint by numbers way to build lithium ion batteries. So it's kind of fun. But anyway,
do you have some shrink tubing and stuff like that?
yeah, you use the PVC stuff to cover all of it. It's just PVC shrink wrap stuff. So
yeah, eBay has a bunch of different size shrink tubing. So if you can accurately measure your batteries and stuff like that, so you can get whatever you need. And after you're done soldering all the stuff, you can put your connection and make it look somewhat professional, you know, with a shrink tubing around it.
Yeah, that's cool. There's a lot of little safety tricks that like Dane has some videos on YouTube of good safety practices when you build them, and there's forums and others. I don't know. It's kind of a silly hobby, but it looked interesting. So
I like the one from England, and they printed out end caps and middle caps when they make a battery pack, and it's held in that printed triangle or whatever to keep the batteries from touching, for airflow and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. They printed that out, and then they just pop onto the back, pop on, and all the soldering tabs are out, and they solder everything. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of a nice idea.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting videos on YouTube of guys that they've done thermal cameras of soldering versus welding the tabs on, and it's interesting to see. Heat. Soldering is the enemy of lithium cells, so it's interesting to see how little heat actually goes into the cell when someone welds the tab on versus soldering it. So
where did you get the welding machine?
Oh, it's one of the Chinese, what do they call them? Hacko or something, with 737 machines. So
get it from Banggood?
Actually, I got it locally. It was on one of our local classified sites around here. I was surprised. I punched in the number on it, and like 20 miles away. What the heck? So they had. There's a place around here that sells stuff that gets lost in shipping and overstock type stuff, and I'm pretty sure that's
NPS.
Yeah, it's NPS. So they. So yeah. So there's one thing with those tab welders is that they kind of have low current. So there's some modifications you can do to increase the voltage by just running another set of wires through the transformer. It basically doubles the voltage. So anyway, it's just something fun to do. So.
Charles, I see you making some progress there, man.
Yeah, it's fun. So it's hard to argue with Paul and Steve Daly and those guys that they've done pretty good with those lithium-ion batteries. So
Yeah. And they're cheaper.
Yeah.
If you make them yourself, a lot cheaper.
well, once you have all the stuff. So it's like I said, it's once you buy the welder, buy all the crap to do it. Yeah, it's cheaper, but it's getting into it is pricey because you got to buy all the stuff up front. So that's just like anything. If it tickles your fancy, you're gonna find a way to do it. So
what it is that all the guys that are making them and using them and stuff like that need to get together and buy 1,000 of them at a time instead of,
Oh yeah, you get a break on it. So I bought 50 of the cells, and I did that just because you get a price break once you get up to 50. But yeah, there's some better prices if you get up in the 100 or 1,000, like you said, 1,000 cells.
Yeah, 1,000 is a good break, and if you could get, so many people all buying 50, I mean, it wouldn't, or buying 100 even, then you'd only need 10 people. And
yeah.
What capacity are they typically?
They're 20 with their 26. So they're 2,600 milliamp cells, but you can take them way deep into their discharge. So like comparatively, like if you were to read how they look on paper, it would look like you're taking them clear down to like 5% of their capacity. But lithium ion is happy going down that low, where LiPo batteries are not happy at all. You want to keep a LiPo at 25% or so, but a lithium ion, you can take them deep. You can go clear down into the cycle and they can do it 1,000 times. So that's the advantage to the lithium ion, is that you've got way more cycle life span, and then you can drive them deeper into discharge without hurting them. So,
and I was reading on it, and they suggest charging them, storing them at full charge.
I don't know on that. I'd have to ask Paul what he's doing, or ask Dane or some of those guys. That's their.
Yeah, it doesn't, because that's what they run in, your cell phones, what's in Teslas, all that kind of stuff. And, you don't have to put them in storage charge. They said you can even do them at 50% or whatever. It really doesn't hurt them wherever you leave them, but they will, they said after 6 months, they drop a little bit in voltage, that you can leave them at 100% storage, and then they're fine. And then just put them on and peek them back out if they set a long time.
Yeah, I've read that you can get up to 1,000 charge cycles on them before they start to degrade. Yeah. So it's if you didn't ruin them, crash them or something else, they're kind of like unless you're among the top flyers, if you built 6 or 8 of them, that's 6,000 to 8,000 flights. That's more than a lifetime of flights for most guys. So
yeah, it sounds like
now you're talking me out of lipos, man.
Mike, I've been telling you, don't be buying stuff until later on in the year, because they're coming out with a lot of new stuff that if you buy it now, you're going to be sorry later.
But you'll never regret Thunder Power 5S batteries. Thunder Power 5S's are fantastic. You'd love them, Mike. Come on.
Yeah, well, I got... Oh, yeah, right. I get it.
Oh, Mike, you're going to see Dane. You'll see Dane next week.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing the first reason I would need electric batteries for control line is I've got the Axioma coming from Ukraine here, or Uzbekistan. So that's my first deal with that. And then the second thing is I'm swapping out all my RC stuff, all my glow stuff. I'm going electric. So I've got 4 full-size electric RC planes now that I need batteries for. So that's why I'm kind of waiting for the Thunder Power sale so I can get all my RC planes up to snuff. But again, I'm going to start using them in control line as well.
Familiar story, huh, Brent? Sounds like somebody we know up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's fun. So
You know who I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part of that sentence. My
It
audio.
sounds familiar. Sounds like somebody we both know from up in your neck of the woods.
Oh, yeah.
German guy.
Oh, Norm Whittle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, John, let's see your SB11.
It's all. Yeah, I
I'm gonna jump out, guys. It's good yakking with y'all. So
take care.
Easy, Brett.
The
All right, man. Take care.
it's still too many pieces, Steve.
Oh, okay.
I had to go up to Salt Lake today for an appointment at the VA, and so I stopped at the hobby shop there, and I picked up the last of the stuff that I was waiting for. It hadn't got here yet, so I now have, I think, all the stuff I need to finish it.
Good deal.
Well, John, is it going to be ready?
If it's not, I'll take my legacy.
Oh, okay. You got a backup then.
Yeah,
So, all right. No excuses then or anything.
right.
Okay, good. So I'm
But
looking.
none of you guys need excuses now because Dennis is one of the judges.
Our excuse will be Dennis was one of the judges.
Well, I did see that you were judging. Dennis, are you not flying on Sunday then, or are you going to be able to do both?
All right, I'm going to be flying an expert and judging advanced, and we'll figure out how to make it work. Going on at the same time in different circles, so it's a matter of, probably flying first before everybody does and last after everybody does, or something like that. Flying during lunch break or something.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yes, Steve, I've got the fuselage about ready to mount the engine, and I put 2 degrees of down thrust on the thrust line, and what else? Basically, I've been doing a little here, a little there, waiting for stuff to come in, and then stuff would come in, and then I try to get caught up to where I was at. So the flaps have got the hinges in them, but the flaps are not mounted to the wing because I was waiting for the flaps that I got from, or the elevator, the hinges that I got from Charles, and they got in. And so anyway, but what I did is I got busy working on the fuselage, so I was trying to get that further on. I'm curious whether or not what Charles did to the nose of his whether he did any modification on the nose of his cowl.
I don't think so.
Because you got a kind of a round hole in it. It's angled funny.
His is electric.
Well, that's true. Yeah, mine is. That's the other thing I had to do. I had to what the IC powered SV11 is the same airplane as the electric, except they put motor mounts in it. Yeah. Well, you got no cross bracing between the motor mounts to stiffen the nose up. So I can see it shaking itself apart real quick. So I got that all set up and mounted in there. I've been, taking care of things as I see them.
Okay.
When you're down a 1 week in town, I'm hoping taking care of things means putting all the parts into making one great big part out of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm working at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down to a week.
I should have just gone ahead and bit the bullet and and went with an electric, but then I'd had to order all the electric stuff in, but it still might have been cheaper than what I wound up at, you know.
Who knows?
Yeah, what the heck? I love my Stalker engines, so by golly, I'm nice to have another airplane that's got a Stalker mounted in.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, this one's a Stalker 66 though, so I'm looking forward to running that. Tom Dixon says actually this is his engine because he didn't have any new ones in stock, so he made me a smoking deal on the one. He's got about 100 runs on it. He sent me a note, and he uses a 13.6 on my 66 for a prop. So I just happen to have a Zor 13.6, so I plan on using that.
Sounds like a plan. It's already run in. That's a nice piece of worry to get taken care of.
What was that?
It's already run in. It's a nice worry not to have. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's all run in, ready to go. He's buying himself a Stalker 74 or 76, whatever it is. I think he's gonna. The guys back east, none of them run the 81s. I don't know what the deal is. Whether it's because Randy's PA 76 is such a popular number that they just can't think of anything bigger running decent, but that 81 runs really good. Probably better than the 70. I think it's a 74 the Stalker is. I almost had the gals from Brodak. I tried to talk them into coming and doing the tabulation, you know, or something. Come to work here in Vegas. They said you were coming. They said, we got a guy from around here that's going to that. And I said, who might that be? Well, do you know Dennis Adamich? I said, oh yeah.
Nobody knows that guy.
No. He was a brief spark back in the 70s somewhere with an airplane. Too long a wings.
I used to be somebody.
Huh?
I used to be somebody.
You used to be somebody, yeah. Me too.
I
found out today.
Who told you I was coming?
Huh?
You said somebody at Brodak told you that?
Yeah.
I haven't told them I was coming.
Well, they know it.
Oh my. Bad news travels fast. So.
Yeah. I found out something today at the VA. They took my, height. I used to be 6'3". Truthfully, I was 6'3" when I was in high school. At the end of and in the Navy and that, I'm 5'11" now.
You're still a giant to me, John.
Oh, thank you. No, I part of that is I took a fall and crushed 3 vertebrae. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got.
Well, even naturally, if with some people they can even measure, they'll be taller in the morning when they first get up than they will just before they go to bed. Basically, all the discs compress a little bit over the course of the day and everything. But.
Yeah.
Besides, you got to be Santa Claus. Nobody believes in a Santa Claus who's 5'11". Santa Claus is supposed to be a jolly old elf, not
Well, there's elf. Look, they made a movie about that one big giant elf. So
I tried measuring myself in the morning and at night, and I was short both times.
There's just no hope for you, is there, Steve?
Height, Steve. Yeah. Oh well. Wait a minute.
We won't go there, Dennis. I know where you're heading. Just don't go there.
Tryon, you get anything laid up?
Yeah, I laid up the fuselage.
All right. Gonna pop it out Monday, or is it gonna come out before that?
Could be possible if I join you tomorrow.
Oh, you're gonna do it tomorrow?
I'm gonna try to.
Oh, okay.
So if I join you tomorrow, Monday, you can pop it out. Take a look at it. Yeah.
Cool.
I put some pictures of the release parts, the elevators, and after actually the painted parts in the mold, they are lighter than the original ones. They were painted after.
Oh, okay.
And but I can definitely see. I mean, I already know that I had too much clear in it, so I know it can be lighter than whatever I have right now on this set. So the old set was about 88 grams altogether for the two for both of them, including the vortex generated tape that was on them. The new ones are that are painted in a mold. They are 86.
Now, the clear you used, was that the clear epoxy?
Yep. No, it's
So
not a clear
maybe-
epoxy. It's the clear, some like a car clear, like a automotive clear.
Oh, you didn't use the class coat
No,
clear?
no.
Oh, okay.
It was a clear from some kind of automotive.
Yeah, you might even get a little bit of the clear epoxy from class coat. And that you could thin.
I have that.
Oh, you do have it. Yeah, you could, see how that would work. Because you can thin that a little bit and probably get out a little bit thinner, coat with that, because you can thin it some.
Yeah, but you need to realize that I'm painting on basically I'm painting on wax paper.
You remind me of something there. I had to. I used 5-minute epoxy and thinned it with pure alcohol and brushed it on to seal up the engine and tank compartment and the inside of the cowl and all that.
Yep.
And it worked good. It actually, sometimes you do that and it feels kind of soft, but this actually came out fairly hard.
Cool. Yeah. So what I did this time around, when I was putting the parts in a mold for the fuselage, the outer layer, it's made out of carbon wave, and has another inner layer made out of 200 grams per square meter carbon plain wave. And the plain wave gives me some thickness to the strands, which gives it some hoop strength. In other words, it stops it from squishing. And that works nice. However, the method to my madness was that I can leave the outer layer a little bit wetter than what I usually do, right? So instead of drying it out and taking more epoxy out of it, I just left it in there with just a tiny bit extra, And what I've done to the inner layer is I wet it separate, and I dry it up real good before I put it in the mold. So what I'm hoping to do by that is that I don't add weight to it at all, and I still have a nice smooth finish on the outside, hopefully without any voids or pinholes or stuff like that. Okay. So I can't wait to see what's going on. I'm excited about this one. Let's just open up the candy. And and then those pictures, when I was looking at even at the pictures in a reflection of my cheap cheap thinner, right? Lacquer thinner, right? And I was looking at it, I was like, I said, wait a second, this is the bottom of the elevator, because you can see the checkerboard on one side, and you can see a little bit of the white and red checkers that are in very close to the camera. But because of the angle, you can't even see the paint. I mean, it's like the light is not bouncing off of that at all. It's just the surface finish is just brilliant. That's I think it really turned out nicely. And it's flat, it's no bumps, no raised up, nothing. And the hinges are nice. By the way, I loosened them up that day. I loosened up so much that, pretty much it's good to go right now. I'm happy with. Does anyone know that if if there exists such a carbon fiber, like chopped carbon fiber that's really small, or does the carbon fiber there's a filler material which is basically carbon dust, right? That you can add to the carbon fiber to make it black, basically changing its color. It's a pigment, more or less. But I was wondering if there's a material out there that I can put for the I would like to have some wear and tear and some toughness over there in that section. So initially I was thinking about just maybe cutting some carbon fiber very, very fine, or as fine as I can get, and mix that with epoxy and stuff it in those areas. But I wasn't sure if maybe something else better.
I have no idea.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to do more homework.
I know usually chopped carbon fiber, the machine that sprays it out chops it as it.
That's too big.
Yeah.
It's actually fiberglass mostly, and
they do chopped carbon fiber like you do chopped fiberglass. I've never
I
seen
think
that.
you can, because carbon fiber comes in a tow as well. So if you have a spool big enough, I mean, it's doable. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's people are actually doing that.
You'd have to have probably carbide blades in there. Keep it sharp enough.
And even then, I think they're gonna go bad real fast.
Well, you could do diamond, have diamond blades. That costs you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We made diamond tools. This place I worked for, Brunswick, made their bowling pins. They're in Muskegon. And first they had the the carbide cutters that went and made the deal. So they would run 8 hours, and it took 8 hours to change them out. Then they'd run 8 hours, and the same thing, 24 hours a day. We made them a set with diamonds in it. They ran it 1 year, and it still didn't have to be changed. They got a whole, for an extra 8 hours every day of running.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole lot of savings and change out time.
Well, yeah, that's what they said, that they paid for that thing within just so many months of paying the people for change out, and they got product during that time. It was super fast, so they ordered another set of them, and when they did finally change it out, they sent the other one back in to be sharpened, and then put that on there. And once they were sharpened, they set it on the bench waiting to, but that was the way with a lot of that stuff. We'd make it and then not see it for ever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was all done with CNC sharpening. Well, it was a wire sharpener, but the CAD and stuff, how CNC deal, it would go there and then sharpen it like that instead of doing it by hand. But you got that done, Charles? Got that canopy shoulder thing done? I haven't seen him take it off and set it down too many times here in the last 15, 20 minutes.
I think he finally got the fit where he wanted it. Looks like he's got a nice joint at the wing there.
Yeah, at least it looks like an airplane.
That looks beautiful, man. I really like the lines of us SV. They're just beautiful planes. Very poorly.
Yeah.
Everybody likes them. I mean, the way they fly and stuff like that. It just they put them in the air and just like boom.
Are we trimming that thing out Friday in Vegas, Charles? Well, he's got his mic turned off. Oh no, he's probably gonna go try to fly this
I'm
week.
hoping he gets at least a basic trim on it before he gets there. You know?
Yeah.
Looks like it's just about done.
He's supposed to go out tomorrow morning. So we'll see. He's got batteries charged but
he looks very focused for a change.
yeah. Oh, I'm gonna take it off again.
Hey Mark, when are you gonna get one of those?
Right.
When are you gonna get an SV11?
I don't know. We'll put that in the mix.
I might as well just go straight there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's a sweetheart of a plane.
Yeah, it definitely looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna finish up this Banshee just because I need to get it done. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah. I'm just yeah. Taking some time. We're done.
Sounds like a plan, man.
And once I start to get through the pattern with these airplanes, I'll go back with the vectors and the maybe jump up to the the SV11 or something. I think.
I was always my opinion. I was like kind of. I don't think he ever changed, but I think if you know how to fly the pattern, just get a good shape and get it over with. Yeah. The idea is that if you force things and you try to go too fast, you're gonna just lose the planes. You're gonna lose a lot of planes. If you take your time, just slow down a little bit. Take it easy. Things are going to come in place eventually. But if you have something very reliable to do it with and that flies very well,
makes a difference.
Then you have the shoes. You can fill in the shoes.
Right.
If you cannot, if the shoes are too small and like,
right,
not going to help you, right?
That's true. Yeah.
I was always of that opinion, obviously, except for probably when you just learn how to fly, when you're very prone to crash and shit like that.
Right. Yeah.
But other than that, nah.
No, it's fun. Yeah. I've had a good week playing around, just building stuff. Been quite busy around here with the farm, but lesson, like I say, all this is like learning for me too. Went through the week with tanks, and building tanks and just to have that knowledge. I mean, like I say, electric is where I'll be. I will have some icy stuff, like the classic stuff and some of the older stuff, but
yeah, sure, yeah.
But I just like being able to understand both sides of it. That's a good thing. I finally got my.
That's a nice job, man. Did you make that?
Yeah.
Well done. Good job.
So what kind of tank is that? A Panzer tank or a Tiger tank or?
It's a Lumen tank.
A Lumen tank. There we go.
Yeah.
It's an Abram tank, man.
Yeah. Basically, it is the exact duplicate of what Dave makes. Very nice.
Hey, Mark, since you're so good at that, I'm going to send you a box so you can hone your skills. Okay.
That's a nice call.
You need a project for the winter, man.
That's a career, man.
Mark,
hey, how's it going, Carl? You're real light.
They will.
So,
Tran, I have a question for you.
oh,
On the epoxy, MGS, aircraft spruce has two different species of that, a 285 and a 335.
285.
Which one?
285.
285. And which hardener do you use, the fast or the slow?
The slowest you can get. It's a 1 hour.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And
But the
Thank
slow one is gonna kill you on the shipping.
oh, okay,
They will murder you. They will murder you.
okay.
Yeah.
I might have to stop by and get it.
Yeah.
You're probably better off. You're probably better off.
And this is as runny as namely as viscous as the Epon 815, but better
Yeah,
stuff.
I think it's more viscous.
More viscous.
Oh, I mean less viscosity.
Less viscous. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And better
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh, much better stuff. Yeah.
Goody, goody. Okay. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
And you don't have to post cure it.
Okay.
You can do that, but it's not necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. Hey, I answered a question for Howard. Woohoo! Yeah. So yeah, this MGS is a very nice resin, by the way. Very nice resin. So I use it exclusively right now. So
Does anybody else have a little gnome or midget that comes and steals all your tools while you're working?
Uh-huh.
yeah, I definitely do have that.
The one thing is about it though, when they steal something else and you start looking for it, you'll find they brought the other ones back.
This is true.
You're lucky.
Very true.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Mine have got long tails and whiskers, and when they steal something, it stays stolen until I look upon it.
Yeah.
When I usually lose my X-Acto knife with 11 blade, I look down at my shoe and this usually fell off the table and it's stuck straight up in my shoe. But
Yeah.
I've only done that maybe once, maybe. Just say.
So I think one notable thing that kind of struck me. I was thinking about talking about it. It's how a lot of people, especially beginners, are struggling with motor runs. Why? And is this motor can run a worth a damn or something like that? So probably if you go to the core, I think there are two core things to it. But the first one, the most important one, is the way you construct the nose of your plane.
Yep.
So if it is a profile plane, in addition to making the engine crutch pretty much typically how you do it for a big motor, where you have the two-piece, the hardwood and the cross-grain balsa straight up and down in between them, and you stuff them into the nose of the plane. You want the doublers to go behind the wing, trailing edge, where the flaps attaches, right? Because the wing is absorbing the vibrations and the engine is producing them. And in addition, that for any profile plane, I'll put a side cheek on the inboard side of the plane. And I say at least 1/4 inch wide. 3/8, it's even better.
Half inch is even better.
Yeah. So that will make the nose much more rigid and stiffer, and you're reducing vibrations. And by doing that, you're gonna get much more predictable, better engine runs overall. If you were to build a full body fuselage, the same thing kind of applies, but right now the doublers should still go behind the trailing edge of the wing, and 1/16 good plywood, good quality plywood will work. In addition to that, you want to keep the cowl as small as possible. If you can do it without the cowl, even better off. I mean, you can always get your motor inside. It's like if you have the cowl, you have two walls, maybe a little bit of this, right? The engine can always enter like this forward, right?
Yeah.
So, and they work great. I mean, if you could put your engine like that and slide the the tank inside, with a small cowl will work fine as well. So that's the number one thing, I think. Construction of the nose of the fuselage, it's key to everything. Then the second one, which is kind of big, it's the what fuel tank you want to use. And I think, Mark, what you just showed, it's a plain perfect example of, you know, of probably some of the best Uniflow. If it's Uniflow, even better.
Yeah.
A Uniflow tank that's about 1 inch tall. I think they're about 2 inch wide or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
right
not sure. Somewhere over there, right?
2 inch, yeah.
Those are perfect. I mean, they're just like you're gonna have the best luck with those type of fuel tanks. Clunks, so and so. Some people know how to make them run, and I only use clunk fuel tank only one time because I was forced to do that. It was in a plane that didn't have, the nose wasn't large enough to put a 6-ounce Uniflow fuel tank because it was only 4 inch long, and the plane was designed for a smaller motor, even though the plane size it was a weird plane. It was called a Score from Top Flight, and it had a super short nose. Was way underpowered for the motors that they would recommend. So I ended up putting a 60 size motor because there was a 60 size plane, no question about, right? But they recommended 40 size motors, which I think is crazy. And then I didn't have enough room for the fuel tank, but if I had, I would use one of the tanks that, like you just showed, over there. So that's why I'm saying I was wanting to touch that point because I know some of us have, you know, difficulty in having a good motor run, and that's the cause right there.
Mark?
Yeah, I think what I learned this last week, as much as anything, is along with what you were saying, Tryon, with construction, but tank position, tank makeup, you know, just makes all the difference in the world. I had that one tank that, like I say, kind of a newbie mistake, you know, it was a standard vent tank, and I plugged the bottom vent because, you know, dummy, I just figured that's what I was used to. Yeah. And, you know, obviously, you know, you would turn inverted or whatever, it would quit, you know, and and then I ran it without just a standard vent, and it actually run really good. I was getting a nice break for about 8 laps, you know, about a 5.3, 5.2 lap. And then all of a sudden, because it wasn't Uniflow, I was down to like 4 second laps, you know. So
let's go.
The lessons there was okay. I get it now, you know. And then I modified that tank, made it a Uniflow, and what a difference, other than the height, because I just had it rubber banded on, you know, so I couldn't really change the height much, you know. But I got the whole flight at about 3/4 of a lap was just a taste lean, and the engine quit, and it was just like I said, tank as much as anything, you know, and plus having the right fuel. I think I mixed up a whole bunch of, it's a 28% for these old McCoys and the Enyas, you know, and the McCoys with that 28%, I'm just, good grief. It was, I was pretty amazed. They're pretty short-lived engines anyway, you know, but you know.
But you can also have, I mean, you can have the best fuel, the best everything, you know, if you don't have a good construction on the nose, forget it.
Exactly.
And I like, by the way, I like your tabs that you put on the fuel tank
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
to adjust it up and down. Huh?
Remember the last on that Nobler when we epoxied it that one day?
Yeah.
We epoxied it, and then when we
it didn't work. Yeah.
It almost took us both out. the tank come on. Anyway, yeah. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
Mark, was that you that ran one of my Uniflow clunk tanks, RC clunk tanks?
I did. I made it, and one of those things where forethought. Yeah, I was really happy with the tank, the way it turned out. Everything worked well. I went back and did it exactly how you were talking about the plumbing. Move the vent, straight to the top, and put a little handle on it so I can turn it. And the Uniflow is about halfway down the tank, and then I went to put it on, wouldn't fit.
Too long.
It was just a little too long, So
well, hang on, you'll find something to use.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, like I say, with that other one, I've got another kit later on or something. I'm talking about that FP20. I might take that FP20 and then run muffler pressure off of that, off the clunk tank, like Mike, you were talking about Brent Buck's article. That was his exact article, was the FP20.
Yeah.
With that clunk tank set up, and muffler pressure. Yeah.
How big is that tank?
That was
like
almost 3.5 or 4. Probably 4
ounces on a 20, boy. That thing's gonna run forever.
Well, let's say the beauty of the clunk tank, and correct me if I'm wrong, as long as you don't uncover the Uniflow, you can half tank it.
Yeah, you can. But and I think FP20 Skyray is a perfect candidate for that, and you should have plenty of room on the nose to put that tank on. It's got a pretty long nose.
Yeah, that's true.
Mark, even if you do uncover the Uniflow, you get it started, acts just like a regular tank.
Well, that's true.
You get it in the air, and then you get it in the air because the fuel covers it over, then it's a Uniflow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was just about to say that,
Yeah.
And actually what you said is like the motor runs fine for so long, and then it kicks into the high gear for the rest of the flight. You should probably have had like more of a gradual increase, and maybe
it kind of was. It kind of was.
And this is like way too much. I mean, it seems like a staggering difference in increase. It should be just this. Typically, if you run a non-Uniflow tank, you're gonna start, probably increase 2-3 tenths towards the end of the flight. Uniflow, it's much less than that.
Sure.
It's almost constant the whole flight, and you can also run the third option will be a muffler pressure if you want to do that. So those are all options that you want to look at. Like, well, I feel like I probably want to have more brake at the end. Run harder at the end of the flight. So then you run in a normal setup, or maybe I want to run it more uniform throughout the flight. So okay, let's use a Uniflow, or maybe even Uniflow it's too much brake, or I want to settle in the motor a little bit more. So then you go muffler pressure. Those are trim features, trim options.
Sure.
That you always have to your in your toolbox per se.
Back in the 50s, when we didn't have Uniflow tanks, we all ran standard vent, and we all thought that 70 miles an hour for the hourglass was normal speed. But I mean, the thing it was, and I think Aldrich set it up this way, was where you needed more horsepower. You got it out of a standard, standard vent towards the end. That's why the more horsepower maneuvers are towards the end of the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, Uniflow made everything so much nicer.
Yeah.
Gary Lutz still runs a standard tank. Some kind of a baffled standard. But with the bigger road jets, they're fairly rich on takeoff, and it has enough power to do all of his maneuvers in the beginning. And then at the end, it starts really picking up for the other maneuvers, and he still likes that. He's tried a Uniflow and he doesn't like it.
Well, see, if he was running a Fox 35, he'd change his tune real quick.
Yeah. But his engines don't run away, and he's running them, you know, fat enough in the beginning, and that's the part with a standard tank.
He's got the horsepower because of the engine itself.
Right. If you got that thing tweaked out at the beginning of a flight because you need all that power, it doesn't take long for it to go lean and go leaner and leaner, you know, through the whole flight and get, you know, starts running away more and more. But his run's so rich in the beginning that he has to be careful that it'll still run.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the beginning of
Yeah,
it.
and it's kind of awkward, you know, it's just when you have to go through that to get a more run. It's just too much.
Well,
this is where I love electric, right? It's just like you don't have to,
No doubt.
you don't have to hunt for I take 3 planes with me. I need to get my fuel for this plane, my fuel for this plane, my fuel for this plane. I need to make sure they have glow plugs for the motor, for the other motor. You know, you know, it's like, or I go like, where do I go? I go in Denver to fly, or I go in Miami at low level. Oh, I need more nitro, less nitro. Oh.
Well, yeah, but what's all the fun in having something that runs the same anywhere, anytime, at any place?
Yeah.
You know,
It's no fun at all, man.
no fun at all. You gotta
Takes all the fun out of a contest fighting with an airplane for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, why you don't have enough to worry about? Do you have to worry about that? Yeah, you have to do that, man. Yeah.
Well, I thought I was cheating when I went to Stalkers because it minimized my problems.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know, I mean, I ran McCoy 35s, and they will last longer than you think they will if you take care of them and don't over rev them.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm real. Like I say, I was impressed with what a difference the tank makes and stuff like that. And with this last couple of flights, you know, it was just finding that needle, that one click, you know. And
welcome to part 2 of Stunt 101.
Exactly. Yeah. and I don't know. It's, like I say, it's part of the nostalgic part of it. You know,
Sure.
is when you first. The first couple of times when I'd start the wing over and I'd hear that brake, you know, it would stay there and then down at the bottom and come out again. You know, I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Get it where it riched up going downhill.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
like I said,
what was beautiful.
And you know, like it like I said, is one of those things that, you know, I had to, that's why I ended up with these tank or trying to put these on the tanks, is because, you know, I had it just rubber band on with hooks, you know, and I'd go inverted and it would just go way rich. I mean, it was still flying, you know, just way rich, you know, and I couldn't move the tank up because I had the way the hooks were that I put on was in the way. So, you know, hack them off and, you know.
Hey, Mark. If you want to cheat a little bit, when you put the hooks, the so-called hooks, right, on the back one, you can just stick it out about 1/8 of an inch from leave some space over there. So in other words, when you put the tank on a plane, it's going to be skewed a little bit. The backside is going to be skewed towards the outside a little bit.
Right.
So that way, it's giving you a nice clean shot down.
That's a good idea. You get a clean shut off that way.
And the other thing with hooks is you make them way wider than the tank. And then you add little pieces of hardwood to shim it up and down.
That was the problem I did. I made, that was the first one I built, you know. And
you made the hooks right next to the tank.
Exactly. Anyway, but like I say, that's where this will come in handy, you know, being able to move it up and down, you know, just fun. Yeah. Good stuff.
It's all good, Ben. It's all good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the I don't know, it's just that sound, when I was watching Dave fly out in Tulsa. It was Tulsa, yeah. And I think he flew his Neptune or whatever, and Fox 35, and obviously he has that down,
Well,
but it was like a Timex watch. You could tell exactly where it was going to break, and there wasn't any stumble, there wasn't anything. It was just
Yeah. Well, he was already an old man when the Fox 35 came out. Don't tell him I said that. I think I'm older than he is.
Yeah.
Do you
Heard that,
do you guys ever consider maybe some planes are designed for certain motors and some other planes are designed for other motors?
Oh yeah.
Because I would think that if you have a thick, fat airfoil, you might want to have a motor with a harder brake, right? Because you have more drag to it. But if you have a plane with a thinner airfoil, you want a motor with a softer brake to it. So sometimes, is it possible that you could probably choose the wrong motor on a plane? Is there such a thing?
Any motor, almost any motor, can be made to run on almost any airplane, but you gotta make allowances. You got to make compromises, things like that. But what's that SIG? The SIG airplane, not the Twister, but the other one with the long nose.
Banshee.
SIG Banshee was designed around the Fox 35.
Mm-hmm.
Lightweight engine,
Right.
needed to be out there that far forward to balance. Anything else you put on there, you're nose heavy.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, if you ever been around Jim Lee when he flies his classic airplane,
yeah,
you would never realize it has a Fox 35 on it. It does not break. With the prop and the Venturi, I don't know what he does with the Venturi. If he put a bigger needle valve in it, whatever. But you would never know it was a Fox. It does not break. And it was a 2.2, but not a 2.4. I mean,
well,
I tried.
The FPs don't break, right?
Yeah.
Actually,
the FPs will break very softly.
Yeah,
they're a very soft breaker.
But yeah,
I think the FP on a Doubler is be great because Doubler is kind of thinnish in the airfoil. FP on a Doubler is nice.
The Pathfinder 40, ka-ching. The Pathfinder 40, which was the first full body Pathfinder.
Excuse me.
I've said that twice now, haven't I? 3 times, yeah. It has a Delaney modified FP, OS 40 FP in it.
Mm-hmm.
He narrowed the squish band and played with the Venturi, and he might have done something else. But it has a nice mild 2.4 brake, and hauls 670 square inch airplane around.
Wow, yeah.
With no problems,
Oh, I think the SV11 is 660 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
680. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I got a nice 40 FP when was that in Tulsa? Just one of those deals,
It's a very nice motor.
50. What you want to get, if you can get it, is a Tower 40.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a little bit better stun engine.
I've heard of them, yeah.
I think the 40 FP. I flew a Twister with a 40 FP motor on it. It had a APC prop 11.5. And
So,
that combination was great. I mean, just like I was having fun with that thing.
One of the things I found out towards the end of the 50s was a lot of, you'd see get these reports from the Nats and other contests, and they're flying a Fox or a McCoy 35 with a 10.6 prop on it. Well, you finally get to see the real airplane, you know, and talk to the guy, and it's a 10.5. But they kept a lot of secrets in those days.
Yeah.
My favorite 40 for a light 40 is the Brodak 40.
Brodak 40s. I got one of the first production runs, so I would have never been really happy with that. It just doesn't run right for me. But the later ones run like a champ. So if I didn't have stalkers and if I wasn't transitioning over in my PA work into electrics, I'd consider, you know, getting a Brodak 40.
Well, one thing, the Brodak 40 weighs the exact same thing as a Fox 35.
Exactly.
And the only thing different, if you add a tongue muffler to it, it's going to be the weight of a tongue muffler heavier. But it doesn't matter if you fly a Fox 35 and now you got to add a tongue muffler to that, they're going to weigh the same.
That's right.
And yeah, them things will turn a monster prop and they just purr once they're broke in. But it takes, they run good at the beginning, but once they're really broke in after a couple of years of running them, they really run good after that.
Yeah, I've seen them and I've heard of them. They're really good.
Yeah, what I see more is you want to prop the motor correctly.
Absolutely.
Because too big of a prop is going to maintain that motor, is going to hold the motor in a 4-cycle. And too small of the prop, it may go 4-cycle or whatever you want in level flight, but as soon as you go in maneuver, it goes in a 2-cycle, and it's an aggressive 2-cycle, and it was going to stay there.
Right.
And it's going to wind up like mad. So those are pretty much the biggest symptoms. If you fly the plane, it stays in 4-cycle all the time, it's not breaking or something like that, just take a little bit of diameter out. And another thing is, like, every motor is different. I mean, it's like every motor has a different brake to it. Some brake hard, like to be run like with a hard brake. That probably a good example of that would be Stalkers, Discovery Retros, and stuff like that. Some are softer, FPs, stuff like that, and even softer than that, I think it's the PAs on pipe. But the PAs can have a harder brake if you don't run them on pipe. You run them with muffler, but in general, you just have to find out where the motor is happy at what RPM, how much it brakes, and then prop it correctly.
The first time I saw, excuse me for interrupting, but I want to do it. I'm old and I'll forget. The first time I saw somebody running a 4-cycle engine where the 4-cycle engine wasn't turning the same RPMs that the same size 2-stroke engine was turning, you know, that when they first started trying to use them, was a Russian fellow from Los Angeles, Igor. Anyway, he you think, listen to his airplane go around, you think it was idling. You know, it was turning really slow.
Welcome, Len.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Canada's in the house.
Anyway, but he was running like a 7 or 8 pitch prop on that thing, but he's running at a low RPM, and he's using the torque from the 4-stroke to do the job. And it was an eye opener to me. Hey, wait, we're using the 4-strokers wrong.
Hey, Len, I didn't know if you knew it or not, but I'm the host tonight. So
Right.
I have all the power.
He's got the power.
I got the power.
Wow.
So you better be nice to me.
That's scary.
He says he has the power too. It's called the leave button.
Yeah. Hey, are we still streaming? Are we still live streaming?
Yeah, we gotta get Charles back to take us off the live stream.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Here he comes. He says he's got one finger up. That means something.
Mm-hmm.
Means he can count to 1.
That means he has at least one finger in his hand.
Yeah. Plane's looking good, Howard. That was for Charles, Howard.
That was Charles.
Hey, Mike.
Teasing Charles.
Yeah.
I heard you did well on the weekend.
We gotta get Charles back.
I did okay.
Yeah, good job.
Okay.
Yeah. One profile and one advanced, so feel
Yeah.
pretty good about that.
That's great. Good job.
It was pretty low numbers, you know. There was only 4 in advanced. I think there was 7 in profile.
Hey, Mike.
I know you can do it, Mike, but you're gonna have to fight a lot harder at Vegas.
Yeah, without the appearance points for sure. But Len, the interesting thing to me was I flew in Nostalgia 30,
Right.
and I don't know, there was I think there was 7 in N30, and I was flying a borrowed airplane from Wayne Smith, and I came in 5th, but I was right behind 4 experts. So,
That's awesome.
All right, who's got feedback?
Yeah.
not me.
But Len, the interesting thing to me was
We got some bad feedback here.
Tryon, are you leaving? Don't leave, Tryon. Don't leave. I got a question for you. In the transition.
All right, guys, we need to know who's got something else.
The only new guy in here is Lynn. Or
That's Dennis.
who's got feedback? But Len, the interesting
I'll go out and come back in, see if it goes away.
Hold on, I just muted Dennis to see if it was him.
That's him.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's Dennis.
Dennis.
We got you muted, Dennis. You got some kind of feedback going. Charles, you're still muted.
So what happens if you have the speakers on your computer or something like that? You're talking and the echo from the speakers come back and it goes back into the speaker. And then now the echo comes back. There's several echoes coming over and over.
Yeah, it just gets on a loop.
You're muted, Charles. Can you hear me? Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right.
All righty. So let me transition us to the after party. Let me just do a real quick recap. 1 second here. Let's see here. All righty. So did you answer Michael Grell's his question was, when is the Las Vegas contest?
Yeah, I already answered all that.
Okay. All right, so we're all caught up on the chat.
Yeah.
We had as high as 21 viewers, and we have 21 likes. So thank you very much. But if you're watching the replay, please hit the like button. That helps the channel.
Okay.
And so with that being said, we're going to transition to the after party. And let me do that. I think I got to take over the host.
I already gave it back to you.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to end the stream, and we're going to go into the